Have you ever wanted to ask a CEO what they look for when hiring developer talent? Our guest today gives us his insight on this and more.
Welcome to Breakpoint, the ServiceNow Developer Podcast. Here's your host, Chuck Tomasi.
Hello, ServiceNow admins, builders, developers, and all of you curious individuals that I always say with the utmost love and respect. Welcome to Breakpoint, the ServiceNow Developer Podcast, where we bring you the latest tools, tips, and tradecraft to accelerate your career. In this episode, I have the great pleasure of talking to the self-titled Mayor of ServiceNow, GlideFast CEO, Michael Lombardo. How are you today, Michael?
Doing well, Chuck. The pleasure is all mine. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I'm going to jump right to that title. How did you get to be the mayor of ServiceNow?
It's a great question. Well, it's funny because when I was younger, my mother used to say to me, you should be the mayor one day. You should be a mayor. I think you should be a mayor. So that was kind of always in my, it burned in my brain. So, once I got into the ServiceNow world, you had, our celebrities like the ServiceNow guru and, people kind of coming up with great brands, and I loved it. And one day my mother said, I still think you have time to be the mayor. And I was like, I'm going to be the ServiceNow mayor. So it's not cool. Nobody else gave it to me other than, kind of self-appointed, but kind of from my mother as well, I guess.
I keep thinking about that scene in Back to the Future. Mayor Goldie Wilson.
Yes.
I like the sound of that.
Back to the Future is one of my favorite movies.
Look at this. I'm looking at the video. He's got the clock panel countdown date panel from the DeLorean.
Signed by Christopher Lloyd.
Oh,
yeah, I love Back to the Future. I love Back to the Future.
Didn't know that before this conversation.
Yeah, I know. That's it.
Well, let's dig a little bit more into your work and personal life.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Michael Lombardo?
Yeah, so I'm the CEO of GlideFast Consulting. We're a ServiceNow elite partner. I started my IT career off on the help desk. Then the company I was at purchased ServiceNow, and I became the administrator of ServiceNow, and that was like 2010. So that was I live my ServiceNow career off by releases, and so that was the Aspen release.
There you go.
2010, 2011. I'm not sure, but it was the Aspen release. We got to upgrade. Just upgrading to Berlin. It was like it was kind of mind boggling for me because it just showed the transformation from Aspen to Berlin. I was like, wow, this software can change that much. And then got into the consultant world. I left the hospital I was at where we implemented ServiceNow. And then started GlideFast about 7 years ago in 2015.
That's it. Just 1, 2, 3 year CEO.
Just going with the flow. That's how I got it. Really.
When you're not focused on work, what do you like doing for fun?
So I have a beautiful wife and two amazing little girls. So I love hanging with them and trying to be the best father and husband I can. Hopefully my wife is listening to this. I also love hiking and snowmobiling and snowboarding. And this summer, hopefully getting a jet ski that I can have some fun on a lake as well.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. I like outdoor stuff. I spend so much time on the computer that I need to get out and get a little experience with nature.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to pivot a little bit. We'll get into our main topic. And normally when I do these conversations, I explore how someone took their developer career from 0 to 60 on ServiceNow. But with you, I'd like to take a little different approach based on your position. So going from ServiceNow architect to starting your own company is obviously a major step. Tell me what that was like.
Yeah, I mean, I think so much of, like I said a little earlier, so much of my career has really been organic and just going with the flow. So, first it really just started with doing kind of a little bit of everything, right? So I was a customer, administrator, then I got to the consulting world. I was a developer. I played BPC on some projects. I played, believe it or not, project manager on some projects. A trainer. I was a trainer on a couple. I ran some training sessions. So that really kind of just spread me out pretty wide, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where I got just a lot of experience across the whole platform, different aspects of those projects. And then just going with the flow. So I was at a partner for a couple years, and I kind of wanted to go in a different direction, and I ended up actually, I'm going back. My original intention was I'm going to go back to the customer side, and then it kind of became me going independent, where I got one kind of full-time job remote, and then another one came up, and then those customers asked for more of me, and I had a really good network of people that in the ServiceNow space that I was able to bring in. And I said, hey, you know what? Let me start a company. I think this is a company that I have going here. And so we just kind of registered a company, and I had a couple of partners, and we just kind of just evolved from there. And it all centered around providing value.
Mm-hmm.
We were just providing value for customers, and I knew a lot of other great developers and consultants, and it just really became GlideFast. It was really never intentional. I know it sounds a little crazy, but it was never like, we're going to start a company and we're going to be the ServiceNow partner and be the best in the world. It definitely grew into that pretty quickly, but that was really never the intention from the beginning.
I like it. Great organic story. And also I want to point out, congratulations to you and your team on the numerous awards. It seems like every time I turn on LinkedIn, it's like, we got this award and we've been given that, and ServiceNow said this about us. Like, you've now got the America's Elite Segment Partner of the Year 2022. What do you attribute your success of all these awards to? Yeah,
I mean, first of all, thank you for recognizing us on this, and thank you to ServiceNow and Bill McDermott and everybody who gave us that award. For us, the GlideFast team, it was like winning a championship, right? Like winning that Super Bowl, winning, at the highest level, getting that recognition and the respect that we work so hard for. I mean, that's really what we work hard. We work hard for our customers. But we want, to be recognized for your efforts. There's no greater feeling than that, right? But our success is definitely, not on one particular person. It's really on the entire team. Our entire team, day in, day out, is just working their tails off to be successful and to mostly, we love this platform so much. We believe in it, and because you're one of those people too. You believe in the ServiceNow platform so much that you devoted your whole life to it. So that's really what it comes down to is the people at GlideFast love ServiceNow so much, love working and being part of the GlideFast team so much, and that's really how we were able to get that award. And then I think, some of the reasons why people love working at GlideFast and why, people work so hard is because we invest in training.
Yes.
We invest in them. We invest in, paying people what they deserve and as much as possible, and just caring about each other, right? Like, what makes us successful is that every person is here for the person next to them. And that's a cycle, right? If every person here is there for the person next to them, then when you need help, there's someone there for you, and that's the key to our success. And, that is, I think, proving ourselves in this award is just one way that it has as well.
How many people work at GlideFast right now?
450 almost.
Okay. And that's of late April 2022. So draw a line in the sand there.
Oh, we're not stopping there either.
Exactly. That's twice as many people, over twice as many people than were at ServiceNow when I started just a few short years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So you're on a big trajectory. And it seems like every time I turn around in LinkedIn, there's one of your employees with a new CMA, the Certified Master Architect certification, or just over and over, we're seeing these continued accomplishments. So congratulations again. So as a leader, what words of advice can you give to those new developers? Aside from send me your resume.
Send it this way if you're good. No. You know, for me, it's always been, and everybody kind of has their own, secret sauce, right? And, not everybody's going to follow the same direction. But for me, it's from the second I got exposed to ServiceNow, I never looked back. My friends used to, make fun of me for having my laptop at house parties and stuff. But you really have to dedicate yourself. You really have to work hard. And I know, it's for some reason, every time I post, work hard on LinkedIn, there's a lot of controversy. People say, work smart, not hard.
I never loved that statement. I got to tell you, that was,
you do have to work smart. No one's saying, do repetitive tasks and do things that are not valuable or efficient, but you have to put in the hours. This is a very deep and wide platform, right? It's the leader in a lot of different industries for a reason, right? And you have to dedicate yourself. You have to, work hard and learn it. And, you're never done. Just like ServiceNow is never done. It's, same thing I tell my customers, ServiceNow, your journey's never done. There's always more improvements we're adding to the platform. There's always more automation that you can add, after an implementation, right? It's the same thing with your skill sets and your knowledge. You're never done. Like, okay, now I know everything. There is no finish. There is no finish line,
And one thing to go along with that, and we've talked about this with other people on this show, is along with the learning, you've got to share that information. You've got to promote yourself.
Yes.
You may be the smartest person in the room, but if nobody knows it, it doesn't amount to a hill of beans. It's nothing.
Yes, absolutely. And that's something I learned really early on when I was getting into the consulting world was some of the best developers in the world. Maybe they're introverts. Maybe they, I used to hear this all the time. Maybe I do now still, I know, ITSM or I know HR, but I'm definitely not an expert. Right. And I'm like, what do you think is an expert? You've been doing this for 8 years. You are an expert, but they're like, yeah, but compared to this person,
no,
I don't know everything. And you can't do that, right? You need to have some confidence in yourself. And, I'm not saying somebody that with 5 days experience I'm an expert, but, have some confidence in yourself, promote yourself, be proud and be brave and, tell the world that, who you are. Right. And, maybe you don't need to call yourself the ServiceNow mayor, but
come up with the ServiceNow hobo or something.
Yeah. Create some videos, create some content, write a blog. I mean, I can't tell you how many ServiceNow resources I've searched on the internet over the years, just trying to get any information I could to learn from. And those people who are creating those content became like celebrities for me. You're one of them. You're one of the top ones. The ServiceNow guru, Jace Benson, the ServiceNow Elite website. Those are unbelievable resource, and they became like superheroes for me because they helped me learn things that I didn't know.
And it's not a Herculean effort. I mean, that's just good career management right there, because you as a CEO or you as a hiring manager or one of your hiring managers, when they're doing their research, they want to go, what else has this person done?
Exactly.
Okay, I got a resume in hand. Oh, look, there's a GitHub repo on their personal website, which is like, oh, this person did this game on ServiceNow. This person, they're a thinker. They're an innovator. They do this on holidays and weekends.
Exactly.
They're sick like the rest of us.
Exactly. And it happened. I'll give you a perfect example. ServiceNowElite.com. Mike Kaufman, he works at GlideFast now. When I came knocking, or when one of us, reached out to each other, it was like, okay, when can you start? Rarely do I even read a resume. Rarely. Especially in a small space like ServiceNow. Reputational, Do I, chances are I probably already know you. And obviously LinkedIn is the most powerful self-promotion tool out there. So I think your whole audience is definitely already on LinkedIn. So we don't have to go through that, but that's a rabbit hole I could definitely dive down.
To the people that are thinking, "Oh, I'm an introvert, I don't think I can do that," you got to get over that.
Yep.
It's a matter of, do you want to do what's comfortable or you want to do what's effective?
100%. And no one's saying you have to go on your own TV show or a podcast like you, right?
Yeah.
But I've seen people just do screen shares and no voice and, text, blogs. There's ways you can do it without, making yourself solely uncomfortable, so uncomfortable, but, get comfortable being uncomfortable is a lesson I learned early on. And then you will be comfortable, right? You will be comfortable.
Look, if you don't have any ideas, come to me. I've got additional ideas on how to promote your work because I can't do all of my ideas. That's impossible at this point. It was fun. We mentioned a news show that we piloted but never aired.
I would love that.
We realized this is going to be a pretty heavy lift each week for us to get stories and whatnot, just to put together a 3 to 5 minute.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we mentioned that at one point. Jace Benson's got it now. He's been doing this for a few weeks, so kind of cool.
Is it a show or a RSS? I know he had the RSS feed. Did he start a show?
He's getting his content from RSS, and then he puts it on YouTube, and I think he's socializing it on LinkedIn as well.
That's awesome. I got to check that out.
And he gets more reputation in the industry. It's like,
oh yeah, he used to answer community questions with YouTube videos.
Wow,
and that was my first exposure to ServiceNow YouTube. Actually, I don't know if it was you or him, but I used to love reading watching his community answers through YouTube, because he'd be like, hey, here's a link to my video. And you could visually see it instead of just reading it. I love that.
Okay. I'm going to pretend I was not introduced to ServiceNow back in 2008. And I've been a full stack developer for quite some time. What words of advice would you have for me? I've been doing all these different languages on all these different platforms with all these different frameworks, and now I'm new to ServiceNow.
Yep.
What advice do you have for me?
This is funny because we see this, right? And you know too much. You know too much, Chuck.
Well, I've got a lot of preconceived notions. I've been a C programmer. I've been a PHP programmer. I've been a Ruby programmer.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. And I feel like those developers run to let me completely re-engineer, re-architect, overbuild. The challenge with ServiceNow and those type of developers is they have a tendency to overdevelop, right? Just because you can doesn't mean you should. You have to keep it simple in ServiceNow. There's times when, there's hundreds of lines of code for you to write, believe me, there will be times, but there's also times where you want to run and write all those lines of code, but there's a drop down somewhere that if it doesn't exist, you can build it. And just a few snippets of code allows it to be scalable, right? It allows it to be modifiable, by someone else in the future, right? And not have to, go through all those lines of code because it's a platform, right? This isn't a homegrown, application where a feature or a tool doesn't exist. ServiceNow has so many ways for you to achieve what you're trying to do. And a lot of those ways do not require hundreds of lines of code. A lot of it can be done, I don't want to say out of the box, but a combination of light development and configuration.
So keep it simple, stupid.
One of my customers used to be called, her name was Sandy. And she would say, I like to say, keep it simple, Sandy.
Yeah, that's great advice because even as a new ServiceNow developer back in 2008, I did some of that.
Oh yeah, we all did. We all have. And there is so many examples of those. There's so many of those scenarios,
Yeah.
There's 5 different ways to make a field read only in ServiceNow, but there's one best way, right? So
okay, back to the talent. As a CEO of a rapidly growing consulting firm, what kind of skills do you look for as you build out that army of developer talent?
It's weird because you would think the technical stuff comes first, right? But it's, is this person honest? Does this person have empathy? Does this person want to be part of a team? Is their ego too big? Right? Those kind of things come first. And then it's like, all right, we got past that. How much experience do they have? How creative can they be? How much do they love ServiceNow? I love passion. I think passion is my greatest quality for being a CEO or being a part of a ServiceNow partner. So yeah, the more of the soft skills are really important as well. Articulating your thoughts, well, and but being kind and honest are the first things. What kind of personality does this person have?
Mm-hmm.
Can they hold a conversation? Those are really important.
Obviously, for a consultant, yes, they would need to hold a conversation, listening to requirements, explaining back, giving alternatives, objection handling, all that good stuff comes into play here. So yeah, I can see why you're looking for those soft skills first. Yeah, I heard a very senior hiring manager who's done thousands of interviews say to me one time, I will take 10% more energy, and you're going to get energy when you're passionate.
Oh, yeah.
10% more energy over 100% more technical skill every time.
All the time, every day. Every day. I even say it to my customers, right? When they say, hey, what are we going to need? What type of resource we're going to need on this project? Do we have to go and hire? And I always say, listen, I'd rather take one of, typically we start in the ITSM world. So I'll say, if you have a hungry, motivated help desk agent that wants to grow in their career and is humble and willing to just work hard, I'd rather work with someone like that than somebody maybe from your engineering team who is a know-it-all and is not going to be a good partner with us. So it's the same thing with energy and ambition and hunger to improve themselves and being humble and all that is crucial in my world.
That's who you want to invest in.
Exactly.
Okay. You hearing this, listener? You hearing this? Okay. I want to flip back the pages of your career history document and ask you, what do you consider the highlight of your career so far? We realize there's still road to go.
Yeah. Oh man. The highlight of my career, it's hard because I do feel like there's so much, runway left in my career. I have a lot of mountains I do want to conquer. There's definitely some milestones, even my first go live, as a customer, my first go live, as a consultant, starting GlideFast, registering that LLC, getting my first business card. Knowledge 19 was probably in the GlideFast world. Knowledge 19 for us was unbelievable because we had just hit 100 employees. We sent the whole company to Knowledge. We had the higher sponsorship. I loved our booth. It was massive. It was in front of some of the big GSIs, and they were like, who's this GlideFast? We had a phenomenal party. Like the suite we had our party in had a basketball court in it.
Oh, wow.
At the Palms. There was a basketball court in our suite at our party. So, just getting our whole team together, we were starting to kind of get some recognition at some high levels at ServiceNow. So I'd say that was really a huge milestone and a huge highlight. And plus, we haven't really had anything since then, right? Because of COVID. So the whole world's kind of been shut down since Knowledge 19 was the last knowledge, in-person knowledge, right? So that was really a huge highlight, I'd say, of my career and of GlideFast for sure.
But you're right, there's more to come.
Oh yeah, there's more to come.
There's more to come as we get back together for in-person events. There's memories to be made and looking forward to it greatly.
And for anyone else who's wondering, I'm never retiring. Never. There is no, people ask me you've had all the success, you must want to retire. I am let's get the record clear on Breakpoint, on Chuck's podcast. I will retire when I am dead and gone. Like I love this ServiceNow space so much. I want GlideFast to become a global elite partner. I want us to be the unequivocal leader across the whole industry. You know, winning elite partner of the year is great, but we want to win global elite partner of the year. We want to be, serving customers across the whole world, and really put ServiceNow, help ServiceNow get to the next level as well.
More opportunities for the listeners. I can sense you. A couple people sending you their resumes now.
Send it info@glidefast.com.
There it is. I was just about to ask you, how do we get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn. I think, as you said, Mayor of ServiceNow I'm on LinkedIn. Definitely follow us on LinkedIn. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We got some great content if you're not already.
Yes.
And you can reach us on our website. We have a contact page, but info@GlideFast as well.
I will have all of those links in the show notes, so don't worry if you didn't write them down while you were driving. We hope you're not doing that. And thank you. Thank you, Michael, and thank you, wonderful listener, for joining us today. Don't forget to check out the other ServiceNow podcasts. You can find them all at servicenow.com/podcast. Breakpoint is brought to you, of course, by ServiceNow. Executive producer is yours truly. And video captions have been added by the gracious Earl Duque. And to find out more about the ServiceNow Developer Program, head over to developer.servicenow.com. Again, thank you. Thank you so much, Michael. Great discussion today, and I look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Thank you, Chuck.
Please let us know what you think about this podcast. You can leave feedback or ask questions in the ServiceNow community. For more great information on ServiceNow development, check out the ServiceNow Developer portal at developer.servicenow.com. Thanks for listening.
How was your day?
My day was phenomenal. Woke up, took a nap, worked out, took another nap.
It's good to be the CEO. Going from ServiceNow architect to try that again. Wait, did I skip a question? No, I didn't. Okay.
Can we edit that? And damn it, I'm rambling on.
That's what editing is for. I'm not going on TikTok anytime soon.
No, not TikTok for me.
Did I already ask this?
Oh, man.
In fact, I'm going to scrap that question and start over. I'm going to bring that in even better. That was terrible.
It's unbelievable.